This is Sarah's Creative Corner, my little part of the internet where I talk about all the things that I've been up to over the past week or so. I am here to talk about some knitting and some spinning that I've been doing over the past week, and I have a couple acquisitions. I actually have a couple finished objects to talk to you about, but not knitting related. So we can go ahead and hop into it, but I will kind of briefly touch on what I'm wearing. I think I wore it sometime in the spring in one of my other episodes, but this is the Tolsta tee by the Creme or Rebecca Clow, and this is just a raglan t-shirt. I knit it in KnitPicks Cotlin, which is their cotton linen base, in the Creme Brûlée color, and I really enjoy it. I have some plans to make some more, but I think what I'll do next time is I'll cast on for just one size smaller for the neck, and then just knit to the size that I want, just to kind of bring this in a little bit. Yeah, but other than that, I really like it. The yarn has held up really nicely and it's really breathable, so I would recommend this yarn if you are looking for a summer fabric. So that is this one. So I guess we can go ahead and get into the finished-ish objects, and that is my spinning. I think I briefly showed this to you last week, but I can't remember. But I finished up 2 skeins. They're about 50 grams, I think. One of them is 52-ish grams, and the other one's 49 grams. And with that, I think I have about 400 yards here. So it's about a fingering weight. That is what it's looking like. This is the January club from the Little Fiber Co. for the Cookware club that she did, or that she is doing. And it's just a monthly club where she sends you a surprise fiber, or if you want yarn, you would get yarn. And she puts up the inspiration for the color earlier in the month, and then you should get it by the end of the month or the beginning of the next one. So I finished these 2 little baby skeins. I spun it up on my Nano, so that's why they're smaller. I'm pretty happy with it. And then I finally finished the last little bit. So I will probably let this rest today. I might just spin it up and apply it tonight. But yeah, this was January's color. It's a Rambouillet, and I think, yeah, it's called Agave, and I am just plying it on itself to make a 2-ply. I could probably do something else, but that's kind of where I am right now with this. I'm pretty happy. I think they came out pretty consistent, and I also like the just kind of tonality in it, how some of the strands are a little bit lighter and some of them are darker, but overall pretty consistent. So I'll probably have 120 grams or so of yarn, but I will report back next week to see what this last little bit is. So that is my first finished object. And then the other one I have is a finished object / half finished object. And that is this skein. I spun up this skein. This is also from the Little Fiber Co. But this is a BFL silk base. And overall, I'd say it's pretty consistent. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with the other one, well, I'll just apply it on itself. And it's already rested a few days, and I caked it up last night, and this is just over 100 grams. I think it's like 102 grams. And it's probably like lace weight, so it'll probably get to be about a fingering weight. And this colorway is called Citrus Skies. So I don't know if you can see it. So there's definitely some like pinks and purples, and then there's greens and blues and orange, and it's just a really fun color. And I'm intrigued to see what it'll look like plied up. And then I have another braid of this that I will do the same exact thing. And yeah, that's really it. Pretty excited to have like 200 grams of yarn that will be finished by probably the end of this weekend. I don't know if I will fully finish all of it, like thwacking it and like letting it dry and everything, but the 2 little skeins are totally done. So yeah, that is my spinning. I tried to set a goal this week of spinning like at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes a day, and because of work I've been doing it late, and then I actually just end up spinning like from before midnight until after midnight, so like it technically counts, but not ideal. So that is my spinning that's like done. So we can go ahead and get into my works in progress. I have a couple that you haven't seen in a little bit, and I have one new cast on, and then I'll show you a spin that I'm working on too. So the first one that I'll show you is this guy. You probably haven't seen him in a hot second, but if you don't remember, this is my half and half triangles wrap by Purl Soho. I'm knitting it in the recommended yarn, which is their linen quill, which is a Highland wool alpaca linen base. And I am knitting it in 2 different colors. This one is pale mushroom, and this one is rhubarb pink. And I'm knitting the larger of the 2 sizes, and I've done 2 modifications on it. So I did a German short row instead of like a wrap and turn, and then I am also doing a slip stitch edge, which you can kind of see there, just to kind of make it a little bit neater. But that is this guy. It's been a little bit since the last time I have been working on it, but I guess I can show you where I was last time. I'd say that's probably about like 2.5, 3 inches. So I'm pretty happy about that. I have, I would say like 40 more stitches that I need to like do the German twisted, or to do the German short row on. So I am aiming for like 10 stitches a week, and I definitely got more than 10 stitches this week so far. So hopefully I'll have this done in a month. I know I keep on saying that. I keep on saying, oh, it'll be done at the end of the month. Oh, it'll be done at the end of the month. But hopefully I can get it done before the beginning of next football season, since I started this during football season, or like on the first day of football season. So I am excited for this, and it's definitely not gonna be an out and about knitting, just because it's getting so big and it's just so hot and humid out now. But this has been good for like car knitting and stuff like that. And I have woven in a couple of ends here and there just to kind of help manage all of that. And yeah, I've just been weaving it in and then leaving Like, I'll probably trim this one, but leaving like a couple inches for the tail, so they're not just kind of flopping around everywhere. So that is the first one. I'm going to be very excited when this is done. I'll probably knit another one eventually, but it's also just so much knitting. I might take a break. Maybe not this football season. Maybe the next football season I'll knit another one. But yeah, that is this guy. All right. Let's see. The next one that I can chat about is my test knit. I'd say I've gotten a pretty good chunk of it done this week. So this is my test knit by Sophie from the Knit Purl Girl. This is the Austell tee, and it is an all over lace like t-shirt, and it'll have like a v-neck and like a polo collar. So last time I had just like basically joined in the round, and I've done, I'd say like a good like 5 or 6 inches on this. So yeah, nothing really to say here. I am probably going to, I'm gonna aim to finish the body this weekend or like over the next week. I don't know how realistic that will be, but yeah, and it's a split hem, so we will figure out how to do that as well. Looks like one of my stitches got a little wonky, but yeah, that is this guy, and I'm knitting it in Kim Dye's yarn in her Smoothie fingering base in Bloody Mary. I got it at Maryland Sheep and Wool this past year, so that's like literally like 2 months ago, and I've already cast on and started using the yarn, and it's really nice. I haven't had any issues with splitting or anything because this is a silk linen base, and yeah, I would say that it's more of a, it's leaning more towards like lace weight, because it's almost like 500 yards per 100 grams. But I mean, otherwise I am knitting like it's pretty nice. I'm knitting it on a size US 6 4mm needle, but the pattern calls for I think a US 8, and it was just too loose of a gauge. But I mean, otherwise I think my gauge is pretty spot on, and I think my row gauge is spot on because when I was doing the front and back panels, it's like, do these rows and then it should measure about 5 centimeters, and it was actually measuring about 5 centimeters, which was wild to me. But I am excited to continue working on this and excited to have it in my wardrobe. I don't have a lot of like t-shirts, so hopefully I can get it done before the end of the summer. I think she posted recently that a whole bunch of her patterns are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I think it was like on the 27th or something. So this is probably due like in a week and a half. But that's fine. I'll try to get it as far as I can. Maybe I can try to get a sleeve, like finish the body and get a sleeve in or whatever it may be. But Sophie's patterns are always really great, and I've never really have any like problems with them or knitting or like find any mistakes because I've tested for her like once or twice before. So yeah, she has been great. All right, so the next one is, let me get the one that's on the needles out. So this one you have seen a couple of times. I brought it out last week. This is my Midwinter sock by Summerly Knits. And as you can see, over the past week, I've been able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about like 6 of the little pattern repeats. And I counted on the first sock that I have here. I should have like 16 of the little louse stitches before I get to my toe, but yeah, I just finished my first ball of yarn between the two of these. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a break, like pause, and then I'm going to do the heel, which I put in the string here, and then I'll do that, and then I'll just go ahead and finish off because I think I have like 12. So I only need to do like 4 more louse stitches and then I should start the toe. But I will use my sock ruler just to be sure. But yeah, this is the Midwinter or Midwinter sock by Summerly Knits. It is the third view because it's a little set of patterns, and it has a floral motif and then a louse stitch throughout the rest of the sock. And I'm knitting the second size. I can't remember what that size is off the top of my head. I think it's like 64 stitches. So yeah, and I'm knitting it on 9-inch circulars on a US 5, 2.5 millimeter, and the yarns are, so the like lighter pink is, I actually have the ball here. So the lighter pink is Dogwood Heather, and it's KnitPicks Stroll, and the bright pink is Pucker. So I have barely used any of this one, which is crazy to me because I think in the pattern it says like, oh, it'll use like, you can use a mini skein. It's like 25 yards or something, like something ridiculously small. And I just didn't believe it, but seems like I should trust in Summerly and her calculations. I think it was just too absurd for it to make sense in my brain. But hopefully I'll get this sock done maybe over the weekend, at least over the next week or so, and I will be able to do something fun with it. Maybe submit it into a county fair. So that is this one. And then kind of going on the sock train is a sock that I cast on Monday. And I showed you the yarn last week and I got more information. I think I threw away the band though, but all right. I got this sock. This is that yarn that I was showing you last week. It is by Spun Right Round, and it is their Tough Sock base. I think it's a 75 superwash, 25% nylon base, and it's called Lovey Dovey. But it's not like super pink, which is interesting. Let me see if I can make it brighter. Maybe not. We will see. But yeah. It's just kind of like a pink color. And then there's kind of like brown and like yellow speckles in it. I don't notice any pooling at all. So pretty happy with that. So I'm just gonna basically do what I did with my purple yarn from Ruby and Roses, is I am going to knit a pair for my husband. So these are his. These are 64 stitches. I did 2x2 cuff and I've done 60 rounds for the ribbing, or 59.5, and I just need to add the contrast heel. I'll probably do that today and kind of get that started, and yeah, pretty happy with it and impressed that I was able to get like half a sock done in a week. Yeah, I probably would have been able to get more done if I hadn't decided that I wanted to do the contrast cuff, because I just didn't have it in the car like next to me when we were driving up. But yeah, pretty happy with this, and I will probably do a contrast like heel and a toe for this one, and then I'll probably do a shorty for mine too. But this cake was 108 grams, so I should have a little bit extra yarn to like play with for my pair. I'm really interested in doing like a ruffle, whether that's like with the bare yarn or maybe do like a contrast ruffle for the cuff. So that is this one. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm looking forward to finishing the first sock maybe in the next week or two. So yeah, it's been nice to have some vanilla knitting in the round that I can just work on. And yeah, that's really all of the knitting that I've been doing over the past week. I have picked up my Sophie shawl. I did a couple increases on that, but there's a huge stain on it, which is really frustrating. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'll finish the shawl and then try to figure out how to get the stain out from there. So yeah, okay, all right. And then I have one last thing that I've been working on over the past couple of days, and it is a little bit more spinning. And I think I showed you this fiber last week too, and I am spinning it up on my electric eel wheel 6.1, I think. And looks like this. Just like a very, very like pale pink. And this is 100% Targee, and it's also from I think it's Lauren from the Big Little Fiber Co. No, Lauren from Little Fiber Co. And I'll pull out the other fiber that I have with it. So yeah, I am spinning up the single. I have 4 ounces of it, I think, just a little over 4 ounces, and I've split it up into 4. So this is called Chiffon. This was February's colorway, so kind of getting along, getting through all the colors. It's just like a very like tonal light pink, and I just have the 4, like I split it up into 4 to make it a little bit more manageable for spinning up, because I don't like spinning across such like a wide piece of fiber, and I find it easier to just split it up and add it from there. And I think it's also a good practice for me for like adding fiber, because I'm still not the greatest at that. So yeah, that is this one. I'm about a quarter of the way through, or like an eighth of the way through, and that's really it. I've been really happy with my like this wheel, and as you can see, I customized it a little bit. I got like a couple little odds and ends from my case that I got for my birthday, and I just added them when I finished my citrus skies the other day. And it has like a twist keeper in here, And of course I don't have my fiber in the twist keeper, so that kind of makes it useless, but other than that, it's pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is I will finish off this little bit of fiber, take off the bobbin, put a new one in, and then ply this one up so I can get it all done. And I finally figured out how to like ply for my cake without getting a whole bunch of tangles, which I appreciate. And hope that it continues to work. And yeah, that is all the things that I've been working on. As I said, I have a couple acquisitions. I did a pre-order from Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. for the Bridgerton collection. I think I ordered in the first or the second round of the pre-order, and I finally got my yarn yesterday or the day before. And I got 3 colorways or 3 yarns, but 2 of them are the same colorway. Then I also got a little, like, I didn't order this, but it came with the package, and it's a little pin that says, "The limit does not exist." And when I opened that, I just laughed and showed it to my husband, and he sassily looked at me because there definitely is a limit on how much yarn, but I think it's just space limited, not necessarily by our heart. But yes, so I got these skeins, and these 2 are the same colorway but different bases, and then this is a different colorway. So I got this one, which is the Regency Romance base, and I think it's a fingering weight, 50% superwash merino, 50% silk, and it's called Object of All My Desires. It's just like a light pinky purple. So I think this is based on Kate's dress from season 2. And then the other colorway that I got is I Burn For You, which is based on Daphne from season 1. And I got Storybook Surrey, which is 74% brushed Surrey alpaca and 26% silk. It seems pretty soft. And then I also got it on High Fantasy, which is 100% superwash merino. So I'll probably pair these for a sweater of sorts. I think Rachel from Rachel is Knitting is doing this. I can't remember. Or maybe it's Diamond of the High Water. And she's doing a Colette pullover. So I think it'd be nice to do something, but it's also a little bit variegated. So I don't want it to pool too much. So, yeah, I got 4 skeins of the High Fantasy, and then 4 skeins of the Surrey for sweater quantity, and then I got 2 skeins of the Regency Romance to make like a t-shirt or something, since it has a higher silk content. So that is all the things that I have been working on and I have acquired over the past week. So that is it for this week's episode. Next week I will try to film an episode, but we have a wedding that we're going to on Saturday, and I think this recording on Saturday, posting on Sunday kind of schedule has been working, so maybe I'll try to record earlier in the day to make sure I get ready in time for it. And then, yeah, I think otherwise, it should be good. I will probably have a whole bunch of knitting done the week after because I'll be transitioning to a new position. But my first week, I don't have to work, which is crazy. and I'm looking forward to that. Just kind of, I think it'll be nice to have a break between my 2 jobs. So thank you guys for watching, and if you want to like and comment and subscribe, you can, but otherwise I will see you guys next week. Bye.